That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Oh, sorry.
This is the Royal Ramble with Joey the Bull. And
this is my phone going off.
the man of the hour, Jonathan Mellis.
The man of the hour, the tower of power, looking so good, too sweet to be sour.
Is that a war? Is that a war going on? Is that Iraq right there? What the hell's going on back there?
We are in Times Square, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready for the big celebration tomorrow night, also known as the Dick Clark New Year's Rockin' Eve, except Dick Clark is no longer with us. Who hosts it? There's no Dick anymore. Who is it?
It's what's his name? Ryan Seacrest now. He took over the spot.
Little Dick Clark, right? I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of Ryan Seacrest. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Orange County Championship Wrestling's flagship show, the Royal Ramble, on its flagship station, Free Admission Media. We are either on Facebook, on YouTube, or anywhere else that the internet provides content. I am your host, Jonathan Mellis. Once again, conspicuous in their absence. There's the team of Thunder and Lightning, my regular co-hosts. We got to cut them some slack in that they do work, and they are probably, busy working out for the cage match, which we will announce in a little bit. Over the course of this past year, wrestling has seen a lot of ups and downs, and this year there was a lot of new to the wrestling world. We're talking about AEW making their debut on, is it TBS or TNT?
I believe TNT, I think.
Yeah, with TNT.
One of those.
And Cody Rhodes and his... hold on 1 second. I have to take this. Hold on. No, it's okay. It's good. You're going to like this. It's about the next show. Hi, Jim. How's it going? Not bad. We're podcasting right now. What's going on? Okay. February 1st it is. Okay, perfect. Okay. Great. All right, man. You're on the air, by the way. Yeah, I will relay that message, and I'll give you a call tomorrow. Bye. All right, folks, you heard it here first. Cage match. The date has been changed due to some renovation going on at the post. So originally we had announced that it is going to be January 25th. That date has changed. It is now officially February 1st at American Legion Post 716, Cage Match 4. That's right. All matches in the cage. Feuds will be settled. Friendships ended. Bones broken and blood spilled. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Cage Match 4.
And John, and folks out there, if you're listening, every year this whole event sells out like crazy. So get there early, because John and I are out there looking for chairs, buckets, crates, so you can sit on, because this show gets jam-packed. Show up early so you get a good seat. It's worth it. Every year we sell out. This show is gonna be freaking amazing, just like those fireworks in the background.
Yeah, the person I was just on the phone with, Jim Eubanks, he's been instrumental in the success of OCCW in that he has gotten us in at various Legion posts that had been kind of run dry by the wrestling business for whatever reason. People had soured on local indie wrestling, at least hosting local indie wrestling, and because Jim was, and I kind of saw eye to eye on a lot of things. Orange County Championship Wrestling was born at the post that he was commander of back in 2015. Speaking of being born, lots of babies being born on the new year, right? Who's going to be the first baby new year around the world or across the street? And speaking of across the world or around the street, around the world and across the street.
Or being conceived.
Which I anyway. Our man around the world, our international correspondent, the man with the map, the man with the snap. More importantly, he is the man with the shirt. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jack Bruce Davidson.
JBD.
That's right. Hey, Jack Bruce Davidson, show the world this divine camisa.
Wow.
It's even see-through and it's like magic. Look at that.
SpongeBob SquarePants. Losing a pineapple under the sea.
SpongeBob wishes he had this shirt.
Does he?
Oh, man.
Yeah, SpongeBob. I've never been a fan of SpongeBob. In fact, I absolutely detest him.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm sorry.
Hey, SpongeBob. That's Patrick.
Yeah. So, anyway, Jack Bruce Davison, it's been kind of a slow week in professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
But there are some real interesting topics and tidbits, as it were.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about what's going on?
All right. We're just going to start off with a bang. So, controversial WWE star Lars Sullivan is in headlines again for something other than wrestling and rehabilitation.
Okay. Wait, is this on, Joe? Can you hear me?
So, what?
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I hear him too.
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
Mine
cool.
is off and his is on, so.
That's. Anyways.
Okay, now it's.
All right. So, Lars Sullivan.
It's probably the other ones.
Oh.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so Lars Sullivan, he's been in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, seemingly. Like, he's basically posts from his past came back to haunt him, like homophobic, sexist, racist, and posts and stuff like that. And
what did he say?
Basically, just now or in the past?
Well, I don't imagine we know exactly what he said just now, so
Okay.
maybe in the past.
All right, in the past, basically, he was like posting like gifs of women, saying like bad things about women's wrestling and whatnot.
Okay, that's kind of vague. Bad things about. I don't like women's wrestling because it's boring. That's type of thing.
He was like saying like women shouldn't be wrestling and stuff like that.
Okay.
And anyways, and he says like homophobic things and racist things, like throwing around the N-word and the not the other F word.
So he's called. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're not gonna have another podcast taken down. Anyways, so
I don't know what you're talking about.
me neither. So
You're talking about Willis.
Go on.
So, anyways, he basically videos arose from his past that he was participating in homosexuality homosexual porn, and
gay porn. Don't say
gay
homosexual porn. It makes it sound so sanitized.
No,
gay
like,
porn.
Yeah, and like, there's nothing wrong with being gay. It's just like one of those things where he's.
There's nothing wrong with gay porn either. Regular porn's okay, but like.
I don't know. It's like it's just interesting because
because he says all that shit.
Yeah, he said all the stuff, and like now all this stuff comes out about him, and it's like deny.
It's all the same. It has a great finish towards the end.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's the thing about that. It's like, dude, you know what? Who knows what his frame of mind was at any time, right?
Yeah.
Cut the guy some slack. We've all got things on video that we probably would rather not have on video.
Oh, jeez.
Right? And if you kids ever figure out how to work a VHS into these computers, my ass is in trouble. Right? So let me just say that. Anyway, there's also you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You talk all that smack on the gay community or on the black community or on black people or gay people, and then you turn around and let me ask you this: was he having gay sex with a black man?
No.
Oh, okay, because that would have been like a whole kabash. It's like, oh, maybe it was all just a work. Yeah. In any case, well, so he's not going to be with WWE anymore. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we don't know that. It's just like. He basically took down his Twitter and all of his social media, so we don't know if there's going to be a consequence, but knowing the WWE, they'll do something to him.
Okay. What else is going on?
All right, and then on a more interesting note, the enforcer Arn Anderson has officially signed to the AEW as a head coach role, and he's basically an advisor for Cody Rhodes. And, this move isn't too surprising because, he worked so hard for the WWE for close to 2 decades, and they just let him go.
Yeah, well, the neat thing about Arn Anderson is that he's one of those old pros that doesn't seem bitter about how the business has turned out. He seems a little more open-minded, a little more progressive, and, just glad to still be a part of something he clearly absolutely loves, and so it's good to see it. So he's going to be a welcome addition no matter where. He can go to TNA, and he might not be welcome there because people aren't smart enough to appreciate him. But Arnett, have you listened to him talk like in his podcast and stuff?
Oh yeah,
his attitude as it comes across just seems so pleasant, and so he is so content with what he's done and what he's still able to do. So I wish Arn Anderson luck in AEW because you're gonna need it.
Yeah, hats off to him. And then for the next story, on the AEW subject, AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling have basically, it seems like they're going to build a working relationship with each other because in the Tanahashi versus Jericho match in New Japan for Wrestle Kingdom, if Tanahashi wins, he gets a shot against Chris Jericho at a later point. Yeah. So it seems like if they're willing to put that sort of match together, then the two companies must have see eye to eye on certain things.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, a quick question to our audience. Does anyone feel like they're in danger from these fireworks going off of maybe having a seizure or something like that?
Yeah, I want to ask that.
Let us know if you're having a seizure. I mean, if you're worried about having a seizure, you can't really let us know if indeed you are having a seizure. But if this is in any way dangerous to you, let us know. We'll change it because I'm starting to. Okay.
All right.
Keep going.
All right, and then and then I'm an international correspondent, so basically next story is going to the UK, NXT UK to be exact.
Alrighty.
NXT superstars Morgan Webster and Wild Boar Mike Hitchman have announced that they are purchasing Pro Wrestling Chaos, and the purchase will be finalized.
Tell us a little bit about Pro Wrestling Chaos.
They're like a little bit of like an indie. They're like Progress in a way.
Now, what would they to a guy like me? What would they be like? Are they like Ring of Honor? Are they MLW? What would you say?
MLW, I think.
Okay.
Maybe like the early days of Ring of Honor.
Just got the legs underneath them, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. And it comes into effect February 2020.
Right. Gotcha.
So.
All right.
It's pretty cool. Also, Cinta de Oro, or George Arias, formerly known as Sin Cara from the WWE, has joined the English soccer club Wolverhampton Wanderers FC as the director of international development, presumably to be a talent scout. And to me, it just seems like one of those roles where it's like it's about who you know, because he's friends with one of the stars.
Gotcha. All right.
And then, at least he's working.
Yeah, at least he's working.
Man's gotta eat.
Yep.
Yeah, and not use the Sin Cara name on AAA TV, but that's just me.
I mean, does it matter? You just put a different mask on and call yourself something else.
Yeah, but
must fail.
And then to close it out, Impact champion Sami Callihan recently spoke out about Impact Wrestling.
Now, is he the guy that busted the guy in the face with a baseball bat while with the chair on his chest? Sami Callihan spoke out against someone?
No, he didn't speak out against Impact. He spoke out about Impact being cool because he's basically praising it, saying it's an edgy product, comparing it to like elements of the Attitude Era with examples of his feud with Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah, he thinks it's cool because they didn't fire his dumbass for beating someone over the head with a baseball bat.
I mean,
breaking his orbital rim.
Yeah. Plus that, and he sees his feud with Tessa Blanchard as a sign of equality in wrestling. Like not being about gender, but about who the best is. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if it makes them money, more power to them, right? And if people want to see it, do people want to see it? Because I don't. You know what? Even if I wanted to see it, and I'm not saying I don't, but if I wanted to, I couldn't see it because I have no idea what channel TNA is. It still called TNA?
It's Impact.
Impact. See, never mind. You know what? I'm sorry. You guys still owe my friends money for when you were out here and they wrestled for you and you didn't pay them. All right? Yeah, it happens to quite a few people. All right? Anything else, Jack Bruce Davidson?
Just one more story.
Okay.
The WWE mistakenly retired the 24/7 championship on their website, moving it to the unactive title area. They returned it to the normal. They returned it back to the active title area.
Right.
With the R-Truth as champion, but I just thought that was a funny slip up.
Interesting. Okay. I want you to stick around for this. This concludes. Go ahead. Our international correspondent with Jack Bruce Davidson. All right. Along the same lines, right? While Jack travels the world, bringing us news and notes all over the interwebs and for the four corners and the 5 wins. Is it the four? Wait, how many wins are there? 4 corners. I guess there's 4 wins. Is it 4 wins? Anyway, 7 C's.
know Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons.
There you go. All right. I get that. We have a special guest. He is a big fan of Orange County Championship Wrestling. He's been here since almost the beginning. He goes out of his way to attend each and every OCCW show, and he has been an exemplary fan, and he's been instrumental in bringing new people in. You know, he's hitting up. Hey, he practically has half of K-Town coming to our shows, right? He recently returned from a trip to South Korea and was able to witness some wrestling going on there, attend an actual wrestling show. So I asked him if he would come in and tell us a little bit about it. So without any further ado, the tied for #1 fan of Orange County Championship Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian Chansey.
Yeah.
All right, how you doing, Brian?
Hi, good.
Good to have you with you. This is Jack Bruce Davidson.
Hey, JVD.
I know you watch the show, so you already know who he is.
Of course.
Brian, before we get into the details of your wrestling experience in South Korea, tell us a little bit about yourself and your history of being a wrestling fan.
Sure. I grew up watching wrestling on TV. I watched WCW, WWF, ECW on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a big wrestling fan when he came to America.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling was like the only thing he could understand,
Right.
despite the language.
It's the only thing a lot of us understand.
Right. And I just grew up watching wrestling every Saturday, and when WWF bought out all the competition, I was like really bummed out. Things kind of started going a little sour, and then I started discovering more about independent wrestling, and then Googled wrestling around the area,
Right.
and I found OCCW.
That's great. Yeah, I remember when you first hit me up about it.
Right.
Nice kid shows up. I was like, hey, how you doing? And I thought it was interesting when you showed up because your name is Brian Chansey. I would expect, a Korean surname or something like a Korean first name.
My parents are from Laos. I just have a lot of Korean friends.
Oh, you're not Korean?
No, I speak some Korean. That's how.
I'm sorry. You're going to have to get out the show now.
We all look alike.
Laos. I did not say that. The views and opinions of Brian Chansey are the views and opinions of Brian Chansey himself. They do not represent Orange County Championship Wrestling, the Free Admission Channel, or the Royal Ramble. All right. However, they probably represent a number of Donald Trump supporters.
You want to chase that?
No. Hey, no. Is everyone okay with the beeping going off in the background? If not, speak up. Otherwise, we're moving forward. Brian, all right. So this November, you traveled to Seoul, South Korea, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Now, you were there for
1 week.
1 week to visit family, or
Visiting my friends, enjoy the sights.
Right.
And I got the opportunity by chance to watch pro wrestling over there.
Okay, now tell us how did you give us the whole everything, because this is a really interesting story. How did you know pro wrestling was going to be there?
Okay, so I have, well, not a classmate, but there was this girl that went to the same college as me.
Right.
She was an exchange student, and now she's in Korea. She's like a reporter over there.
Right.
And she reports like all kinds of events, including sporting events. And one of the things she reported about was pro wrestling, coming back to South Korea, because one of my martial arts teachers, Korean, he told me that back in the 70s, wrestling was like a huge deal. And was it Ricky Dozan?
Rikido-san, yeah.
Yeah, he's actually Korean, but
He was.
But he was a Japanese citizen, so everyone thinks he's Japanese. But he's Korean,
Right.
and so he was like really big in the the 60s, and even in the 70s. Like his disciples were popular in Korea.
Right.
So, anyways, this girl, she was posting on her social media. She has like a lot of followers now. She was posting that she was at some wrestling event, and then I was like, okay, that's interesting. So I started following that organization, and I started to follow some of the wrestlers that she knew, and that organization that I. Was at their event I went to when I was over there.
Right.
They're known as Pro Wrestling Society. So I got one of their shirts. Probably can't see it.
Didn't bring one back for me, though.
And I got you a sticker though.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
PWS. Pro Wrestling Society.
Nice.
That's right.
All right. We
Yeah.
might have to steal this and put an extra letter on it so that. Never mind. Go on.
So this organization, the Pro Wrestling Society, from what I understand, they started last year. They're actually a very new organization.
Just last year,
Just last year. They started right after, like a month or two after my trip to South Korea last year.
Okay. Now let's talk about. Let me ask you this. Now you said it was interesting because the company or the roster, the card was made up of two types of wrestlers.
Right. So you have the native Korean citizens wrestling there,
Right.
and then the other half I found out they're soldiers, actually. A lot of them are soldiers who are based in South Korea, the military bases. And the show that I went to, it took place in a city outside of Seoul that's near a military base. Because when my friend was driving me, he was like looking at the address. He was like, "Wait a minute, Brian, that's near a military base."
Right.
I was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "I wonder if the soldiers are U.S. I'm sorry, if the wrestlers, if some of them are soldiers." So then when I went over there, talked to some of the wrestlers.
No, they're American soldiers.
American soldiers.
Okay,
yeah. One of the guys, his name was Brian Leo, and I went and told him I'm visiting from the U.S. He thought I was coming to South Korea as a soldier.
Oh.
And he started asking me like as if I was like, what are you doing here? Are you this and that? And then I found out he's a soldier. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
So basically, you have soldiers, walking in, and I was like, wow, they're in such great shape and everything. I was like, whoa, they're in great shape and they're very strong. I was like, no joke. I mean, I'm not trying to say that non-soldier wrestlers are not strong, but what I'm saying is they have a very different type of power to them.
Okay.
Like when they wrestle.
Natural strength, I guess.
Right. That's the best way to put it.
Okay. Interesting. So now let's walk us through some of those matches there. Was there anything like significantly different in that style of wrestling than say the same kind of wrestling here, or did you notice anything significantly different?
They seem to hit harder.
Oh yeah, like a stronger style.
Yeah, like a stronger style. You could definitely tell they were influenced by Japanese pro wrestling. I mean, Japan's right there,
right? But
they definitely do hit harder.
Yeah,
and they seem to be doing more acrobatic things.
More than they do in say AEW.
Okay, not as much as that.
Okay, all right, okay.
But they were definitely more on the hard hitting side and doing a bit more acrobatic stuff than what you would see in Japan. That's the best way I put it. And the interesting thing is, if you go to one of their shows, even if you can't speak Korean, that's okay because half the show is in English.
Half the show is in English. Oh, well, now that's interesting. Now, what about the crowd?
The crowd, it's a mix. So the crowd, like part of them are Korean,
right?
Who could speak some basic English,
right?
But then the other half, I noticed, were families and friends of the American soldiers.
Kind of like we have here, yeah.
Yeah, so they actually mix it up. So there are some soldiers who are bilingual. But wrestlers that were bilingual, but the soldiers who are not bilingual, they spoke their own language. But but the way they spoke, they didn't speak too complicated. If that makes any sense, like they used simple phrases. Like sentences in the respective language, and everybody just pretty much understood.
That's really interesting. I like that. So, what match stuck out the most to you? Do you expect to see any of those wrestlers that you saw on that card over here somewhere?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because this one was a wrestler from SoCal. She was actually here, Zeta Zhang.
Yeah.
She actually wrestled over there back in August.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the girl that she's hung out here a few times.
She's been on that podcast on the Gym Crashers.
Really nice girl. Really?
Yeah, she was there in South Korea. She was
Did you get a chance to talk to her?
Oh, I didn't see her because she was at the event before the one I went to, and she was like all over the posters.
Right. Okay. Now, but that you actually saw there, did you see any wrestlers' names that we should look out for or anything like that?
I'd say there's one guy named Shiho. I took a picture with him.
Shiho? Yeah, I haven't. I couldn't send it to... I'm sorry.
No worries. The funny thing is he remembered me from Instagram when I took a picture with him.
Oh, yeah?
He was like, hey, you follow me on Instagram.
Right.
I was like, oh, you remember me? Yeah, you always comment and like on our stuff, and we really appreciate it.
So they really appreciate it. Very
yeah, like over there, the thing about South Korea is compared to like Japan, for example, the wrestling scene in South Korea is nowhere near as huge as it is in Japan.
Of course. I don't think it's that big here compared to Japan, right?
So, and the crowd, my friend and I, we noticed that the crowd is very, very passionate.
Yeah.
Like everybody there, you could totally tell they're there because they really love wrestling. They're not there just because, my family or my...
Or they're not there because it's a scene, right? They actually like wrestling, yeah.
Like they actually are very passionate about wrestling. No matter which wrestling entrance song was being played, everybody knew whose song it was.
Really?
That's how crazy it was. That people were just talking about wrestling, and there were some guys. There were some guys who collect wrestling stuff, so they import some stuff from the U.S.
Right.
And importing action figures and stuff is kind of expensive to South Korea. So I was looking at their collections, like, wow, these guys are really, really.
Yeah.
They're really passionate about what they're into.
That's exciting.
We should do our next show in Korea.
Yeah, OCCW. OCCW comes to K-Town South or East. I we call it K-Town East.
There
right?
you go.
Yeah.
And I just remembered this one kid over there. He was asking this lady who was like, selling food, snacks, and stuff. Kind of like what Rachel does.
Yeah.
So he was like 11 or 12. So he asked like the funniest question to her. It's a Korean kid, and I actually understood what he asked. He asked her, "Is this as good as WWE?"
Everyone knows what our response would be.
I was cracking up, and then I was like listening carefully. Like, what is she gonna say? She said, "This is much better than WWE."
Yes, that's the right answer. That's the right answer.
And I was like, wow, I love this lady.
Yeah,
I was like,
so do I. You tell her out there, hey, word up, Kim. All right.
Word up, Kim. It could be Lee. But
Yeah. Anyway, that's really cool. I think of all the cities in the world that I'd like to go, Tokyo, Seoul, obviously London, and Sydney. Those are all some really cool places that are going to be,
right.
Really, really neat to see.
I'd like to go to Bangkok.
Yeah, well, I don't need to go to Bangkok.
Ooh.
Where? Where?
Where?
Where's Joey need to go? Where's Joey want to go? Where do I not need to go?
No comment.
Oh, you such a... How about you, Brian?
No English.
All right. All right. So, anything you want to add about your trip to Korea, Brian?
The wrestlers they're very, very friendly. When they found out I flew from the U.S.,
Yeah.
Like the guy I mentioned, Shio, he posted something on Instagram. It was like, "Oh, this guy Brian made my day. He flew all the way from the U.S. to come watch our show," and he was really happy because, like I said, wrestling is not really as big over there as it is in other countries.
Right.
And the wrestlers there, when they interact with fans,
Right.
they look extremely happy. I mean, not to say that other wrestlers don't look happy. Obviously, wrestlers, you get everybody appreciates their fans, but over there it was just like, wow, they really express their appreciation.
Now, was Pro Wrestling Society, is that a traveling type of thing? Does it go from town to town? Or is it like OCCW and it's basically centrally located and runs its show once a month?
It's basically like OCCW. It's once a month.
Uh-huh.
And the show that I went to, it was outside of Seoul. But the next show, the previous show that happened this month, it was in Seoul.
Okay.
And the show that happens in Seoul is the bigger show. That's where they have like these Trinitron screens.
Right.
Wow.
And these huge like lights and such. Like the show that I went to, it's a smaller show.
Right.
But the one that occurred after I left, that's the one where the wrestler was like, "Hey, you're gonna come to our next show." I was like, "Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be there." But that's when they actually like put out all the lights and everything.
Oh, yeah,
it looks really nice. Like I'll show you a video on YouTube later, but it looks really nice.
That's cool. I want to check that out. Ladies and gentlemen, here is our number one fan, tied for number one. So guys like Herman and Paul Stitz, if you're out there watching, don't get mad. And we'll be more than happy. We'll be more than happy to have you on as well. But I wanted to have him on, and I thank you, Brian Chansey, not just for coming on today, but for being such a great fan. And when I say great fan, I don't mean you buy tickets and you come and you buy concessions. I mean you bring your friends. You tell your friends about it. You always like and share our stuff, and I really appreciate it. And believe me, it doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated. All right.
Appreciate everything. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah,
Brian Chansey,
buddy.
ladies and gentlemen. What's the capital of Thailand? Okay. Robert, go ahead and post that. We have a quick announcement to make. Cage match. Unfortunately, as you saw earlier in the show, in the podcast today, it will not be January 25th. It will be Saturday, February 1. That's Saturday, February 1st at American Legion Post 716. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Cage Match 4. Tickets will be pre-sold at $15, $20 at the door. That you can call Della O Jiu-Jitsu at 527-1845 or the Legion Post 716 at area code 562-430-6033. Let me tell you something. All right, you see that cage there? Yeah. That's where it's all going down. That's a really cool picture because that's the calm before the storm. If you haven't had an opportunity to come to Cage Match, by all means, you're going to want to check it out. If you've been to Cage Match before, you know that blood is spilled, bones are broken, feuds are settled, and friendships are all ended in that cage. So, and if you want to see how things are going to finally turn out, don't you dare miss it. You will have the OCCW heavyweight title on the line. You will have the OCCW tag team belts up for grabs. And, of course, the American Legion title will hang in the balance. All this and much more. That is American Legion Post 716. That's Saturday. Don't look at the graphic there. February 1st at American Legion Post 716. Joey.
John, let me tell you something right now. That cage is no joke. Once a long while back, I was the muscle for La Raza, and being hit with that cage in my face, on my back, being thrown into that cage, it's no joke. And folks, believe me, I'll say this again over and over again. You got to show up early because this show always sells out, and the seats are very minimal. So that means John and I have to go around the city of Los Alamitos.
John.
Oh, John.
You have to watch the door while I do all that.
Well, I point fingers. I point. And believe me, you got to show up early, otherwise you're stand alone. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's a great experience, and we're gonna have a couple of guys who've actually been in that camp. For myself, right? I absolutely, when I wrestled in the cage. We're talking about fighting in the cage. Wrestled in the cage. It was a hell of an experience. It's something I always wanted to do. But what I want to do right now is I want to bring in a veteran of the Cage Wars. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Voodoo Master. How you doing, Voodoo Master? Now, last year, were you at Cage Match last year? Go ahead, Robert.
Yes, sir. I wrestled Vintage Dragon in that cage last year.
Tell us a little bit about your experience and how it changes once you're in a cage rather than just a ring.
Man, that cage changes you as a person. It changes your soul, your mind. It definitely made me a tougher wrestler. After that match, I gave it all my match, and unfortunately, I came up short. But it definitely takes a toll on your body. You do break bones. You do bleed. You do all that stuff, and it's a crazy match. But believe it or not, it's my favorite, most favorite thing that I've done here at OCCW.
Oh, that's great.
And man, those crowds, 400 or 500 people that come for that show, it's amazing.
Yeah, people don't realize just how full that place gets, and I don't think the people who run that post realize just how full it was capable of getting. And you won't find another show around this town, right, that gets that busy. You really won't.
You really won't.
And you can say what you want about your annual farewell show, but this is going to be the annual match of the year. You're not going to want to miss it. Like I said, you're going to see Voodoo Master. You're going to see our next guest too. I want you to stick around while this goes on. Jack Bruce Davison, I want to thank you for coming on. Right? And all you had to add. By the way, show the world this shirt one more time. Look at that. It is Bad Apple. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Happy New Year. I'll see you. Okay, you see, we're right there on the main street there. I'm going to meet you there. You have the margaritas ready. We're going to have a good old time.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, sorry. Can I plug in one thing? I will be selling shirts at the next cage match. The Voodoo Master shirts. If you guys want some, get your hot merch before they sell out. You know what? I had these at the last cage match and they sold out that night.
Yeah, they did. They sold out. Over 20 shirts. Yeah, you know what?
Damn.
And that's another thing. I want to give a shout out to all the wrestlers who will be in attendance that night. Get some merch, sell it at that show. If ever there's going to be a chance for you to sell merch, it's going to be a cage match.
Exactly.
You know what? And I don't know if I'm the only promoter that doesn't take a piece of your merch, but I'm not going to take a piece of your merch. So bring it. All right. At this time, I want to bring in. He's known all around Orange County and OCCW as both wrestler and referee. He is a stalwart of OCCW and probably one of the toughest guys I've had the pleasure of booking in my ring. You know him as Lightning Luis. I call him Tap Out. Lou, Tap Out Tapia. Come on in, Lou. How's it going, Lou?
Talking about merch. Look at this.
Oh, look at everyone has merch with me. Look at this.
That's a nice shirt.
Let's see that. Stand up for a minute. Get that center camera. Get that center camera.
Look at this.
Luis, Tap Out Tapia.
This is.
Do you have it in 5X?
Yes.
Look at that. Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Nice. That's what happens when you work hard in this company.
A good what? Shut up.
This is what happens when you work hard in this company. People step up and they do things like this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We saw you this weekend at The end of the world.
And I have the scars to prove it all over my body.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
What happened there?
This is all from my match.
Joy Barone?
Look,
Yeah, Joey Barone, not
Yeah.
Joey the Bull.
No, not Joy the Bull.
we were not out there hugging each other, wrestling. We were in a battle. And for people that don't know, this is how real it gets in my matches.
Right. You know what? For those of you who didn't get to see it, Joey Barone and Luis Tapia had a Falls Count Anywhere match at the end of the world. And, it went back and forth. They were covering each other all over the place. I was like, hey, you know what? That's a rental. Get out. Don't go through those chairs. And, hey, you know what? I have to pay a deposit for those holes in the walls, you jackass. And, but ultimately...
But, hey, those holes on the walls bring people in because they want to see a fight.
Yeah, well, they were not disappointed. That's for certain.
I hit that wall so hard that the lights went out.
Yeah. I was like, oh God, please let the lights come back on. Hey,
that was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. He did a face plant in one of the walls, and the lights went out on them. I was like, oh God, please. And
I saw the kukui too.
it was a dark match. Everything was going to be a dark match after that. Or we could do the whole thing with our cell phones like they do in the commercial.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was really a hell of a match, and it ended in a double pin.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, he
double pin.
I
Double
speared
pin
him,
fall.
and I speared him, and he kept coming back. He hit me with his finisher, which is what does he call it? The American knee.
Yeah. All American knee.
The All American knee. He hits me with it, and as much as he hates to admit it, I beat him so hard that knee was not 100%. I was still conscious. He went for that pin. I managed to get my hand up, cover him for the pin, but unfortunately, like the referee says, both our shoulders were down. I looked at the footage, and I disagree. My shoulder was up. I looked at the footage from different angles. My shoulder was up.
Well, I haven't seen the actual video of it. I was sitting at ringside, and I saw. Joey, you were there. You sitting right next to me. What did you see? Because I'm really not sure what was.
From our angle, it was pretty much covered up. I mean, but you got to go with the ref's word. Double
The
pin.
ref doesn't know
I mean,
anything.
Oh,
We
oh.
were in there. We know what happened. Joey knows what happened. I know what happened. I should be the number one contender.
By the way, we got a quick correction from Joey Barone. He says it's the knee of justice jackass.
Knee of justice, okay.
So the knee of
jackass.
justice
Knee of
jackass.
justice jackass, okay.
Yeah. The knee of justice jackass is what you wound up eating.
Well, you took the head injury takedown, and we're even with that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So here we go. The whole match was designed to put together a number one contender for the American Legion title, which will be on the line at Cage Match. Now, unfortunately, we have no number one contender.
Here's the thing. I'm the number one contender. I am here. Where is he at? He's at home, eating ham, whatever is your
Eating ham.
I guess the title means nothing to you because I'm here.
Eating ham?
What's eating ham?
I'm here stating the facts. I am the number one contender. He's at home eating ham.
Could it say like fried chicken?
Yeah.
Carne asada?
Eating ham. Yes, he's eating ham.
Ham.
because-
Pass the gravy, daddy.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, now, okay, so we are in the unenviable position of not having a number one contender or having too many number one contenders for a title that needs to be taken care of. All right, Voodoo, what do you suggest?
You know what? What did they do to deserve this title shot?
Not get their ass kicked by a chick?
Hold up, wait. You know what? That was really wrong.
Sorry.
Why are you trying to split us up?
I wasn't talking about you.
No,
I was talking about Alan.
Why are you trying to split us up? though?
You know what? I'm not trying to split you up. You know what? Here's the thing, and I want to address that. Okay,
Can people hear him with that mask on?
I can hear him. Can't they? Can you hear him?
I don't know.
I just want to know what happened towards the end of the night. We got carried out by
You
Heidi.
gotta watch yourself, dude.
Yeah.
I can't watch
yourself.
myself unless there's some
Hey,
music.
Voodoo.
Hold on.
Voodoo.
If PA Marcus Frey and Azrael can sit here weekend after week and not have this table broken, you guys can just be cool.
I asked a simple question. He
Yes,
told me you're
I can
getting
hear
mad.
him just fine. There's my answer. I can hear him just
I'm
fine.
just asking for
the
the
people
fans.
at home can hear him just
A
fine.
real quick question for Voodoo. What happened to us at night when Heidi carried you? Did anything special? I mean,
Well,
The lights
there's
went
nothing-
out?
There's nothing. Absolutely.
What happened when the lights
there's
went out?
absolutely nothing that could break us apart.
What were you guys doing when the lights went
Fair
out?
enough. Okay, let me just say this. We had a situation where one of our matches had to be canceled because the participants were unable to make it, and one of them was ill, the other one was unable to make it. All right, and they were like, "Well, who's he gonna wrestle? Who am I gonna wrestle?" I go, "Look, man, this is how we got it." And they're like, "You know what? I'm not gonna sell the fans short. I'm not gonna put OCCW in a bad situation." I didn't even have to ask them. They both stepped in and said, "We'll wrestle each other as long as you can guarantee us a spot at Cage Match." And I'm telling you right now, I said, absolutely, I will guarantee you both separate spots or spots together at Cage Match. So February 1st at American Legion Post 716, you will see Voodoo Master and Heidi against TBA opponents.
You know what? If you put us together, we're unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Yeah, I do not doubt that.
So number one contender. What's you had some time to think about it?
Okay, well, here's the thing. So,
I want to hear this. Can't wait to hear this.
okay.
you doing your accounting there? What's happening?
I'm adding up. I'm going to see how much this is going to cost.
How much money it's going to cost you?
You know, here's the thing. As a promoter, you know, we sat here, and I'm going to come back to it because there's a point. One day we were talking about what we were going to do for a main event, and they said, hey, why don't you have these two tag teams face off against these two tag teams for your main event? I go, so that's 8 guys or 4 guys on one side. I go, that's 8 guys. They're like, yeah. You know, it's been done. I go, okay. I have to pay 8 guys for one match. All right? 8 guys for one match. And what about the rest of the card? I still need at least 6 more matches. Or at least 5 more matches, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, you know, because they're looking at you like, this is a great idea. Why don't you run with it? I'm like, well, yeah, you guys want to work for blank amount of dollars each? Because that's really how, you know, you have to budget the actual match. You can't budget, you know, you can't just pay everybody what they want.
It's understandable.
You know, so when you have what we're going to have in your match, it's going to be worth it. We will have a triple threat in the steel cage for the American Legion title. That's right. This man sitting to my left, Luis Tapia. The knee of justice jackass, Joey Barone, will be taking on the American Legion title holder, Orange County's own Freddie Havoc for the title. What do you think of that? How's that? You happy now? You should be.
You know what? I was expecting it.
Well, then why'd you ask?
I was expecting it because I thought for sure. Oh, you know, I thought for sure it was gonna be a one-on-one competition. You know, but just in case, I was, you know, maybe it's gonna be a triple threat. Maybe, you know, I doubt it, but because I did have my shoulder up, and you know, you're an understandable person, but you know what? Fine. I did it once.
Wow.
I'll do it again.
Look, okay, if I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to put you in there with Freddie Havoc for the rematch, right? Then Joey Barone would say, hey,
Yeah.
I had him pinned, right? My shoulder was up. Okay, Joey, well, then I'll have you wrestle the winner. No, I should be going there. I want to fight in the cage. All right, you 3 bad mamma jammas can all face each other in that cage. Yes, Joe.
Real quick, Joey Barone says, hey, Tapia, I'm going to beat your ass. Payback's a bitch, pal.
Tapia, I'm going to eat your ass, pay back a bitch.
Beat your ass.
Oh, I know you're right. It says, Tapia, I'm going to beat your ass,
I
pay
said
back
beat.
is
I
a
didn't
bitch.
see eat your ass.
Well, I just, you know, it's small and I'm older.
You said you're going to regret your words.
Hey, I'm tired of all this talk, though. I want to see the action.
Yeah, well, so do I.
All right. Tell you what. I'll make you some money for this match. I'll make sure that there's no double pins. I grew up in, you know, watching wrestling in the 80s, wrestling in the 90s. Why don't we make it a 3-way escape only?
Well, that was going to be my next. This will
we
be
think alike.
first man to the floor or out the door. That's right. Not a 1, 2, 3 pinfall, but like the old days where you climb out of the ring and the first man to put his feet on the floor wins the title.
Wow.
First man out the door puts his feet on the floor, wins the title. No pinfalls, no submissions, No knockouts. Feet touch the floor. Is there any questions?
I am a very happy man.
Very good. I'm glad too. Because
no more excuses.
none. All right. Joey Barone and his knee of justice will be there. Freddie Havoc and his
Kendo.
his world American Legion title will be there, and Lou Tap Out Tapia will be there with his 2 fists of iron. I believe that. Voodoo Master will be there. His opponent, as I said, has not been named, but it should be an exciting match for him.
It will always be exciting. When I'm in that ring, it will always be exciting.
How about when you're on the mic? Is that exciting too? I'm sorry. Look, no, I'm not trying to bury you. Let me tell you something about this young man. We actually did miss him quite a bit. His replacement was amazingly disappointing and is no longer with the company. But he has been just a stalwart. And by the way, I wanna congratulate you on the new set of friends you got.
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, Heidi has been instrumental in being around here, and I promise you, the two of you will have a memorable cage match this year. Not with against each other, but you have a memorable cage match. Moving right along. All right. Vintage Dragon will be defending his title against Gusten Thunder Uberstud. Now, I know I said this wasn't going to happen again. All right. But there's 2 mitigating circumstances. One, Vintage Dragon has insisted himself on getting Gusten Uberstud into the top. I don't know why. There hasn't been a clean pinfall between the two of them. But I guess maybe he's had a change of heart. Perhaps Vintage Dragon wants to settle the score once and for all. Whereas I have yet to hear from Gusten Uberstud other than a okay, thumbs up. That's it. I go, Gusten, I've been calling you. I've been texting you. I want to offer you this match with a Vintage Dragon, a cage match. I need you to call me back to accept it. All I get is this. Bing. So maybe he's deep in training already. Maybe maybe he's over there in what part of Germany is he from? Frankfurt, something like that. Frankfurter. Yeah, Frankfurter, Germany. All right, so that will be the team of Thunder and Lightning will have a return match. If you missed what may be the hardest hitting match in the history of OCCW between Vito Fratelli, Mikey O'Shea, the Debt Collectors, or Debt Collection?
Debt Collectors.
Debt Collectors will take on Thunder and Lightning in the cage. That'll be a one fall to a finish. Much, much more. That's Saturday, February 1st at American Legion Post 716. Cage match. Can you put that up for me one more time, Robert? Just please disregard where it says January 25th. Like I said, you saw here earlier on the show where we had a change of dates. American Legion Post 716. The venue is the same. 3252 Floresta Street. That's in the beautiful city of Los Alamitos. The doors open with 5:30. Bell time's at 6 p.m. Pre-sale tickets are $15. They are $20 at the door. Contact us at Della O Jiu-Jitsu, the number, or at American Legion Post 716. The number's there. Yes, Joe.
Joey Barone's just throwing a lot of shade to Luis right now. He says, when I'm done with you, you can go back to refereeing.
That's a funny thing to say because I actually started this year reffing at Cage Match. And funny enough, I ref your match.
You did.
I ref your match, and I, you were wearing the mask, and I could see the pain in your face through the mask. That cage is not forgiving.
You know what?
That cage is not forgiving, and especially with the opponent that you had, Vintage Dragon. Hey, man, props to you for stepping in that ring, especially against that guy.
Robert, did you get that message, the email from Nathaniel earlier today? Okay, no, just. All right. Yes.
By the way, that picture that you guys saw, that cage, that does not do it justice. Once you see that live, I've been outside the cage. I've been inside the cage. It's intimidating.
You know what? It's crazy too because when I see it in pieces, I'm like, this is, and then as you're putting it together, as you're setting it on top of the ring, as you're bolting it together, and it's like, wow, it just seems to keep getting bigger and growing higher and getting wider, and then. It's there, and as you walk to the ring, let me tell you something. That is quite a walk. You're walking to the ring, and it's it's really something. If you've never been to a cage match, a wrestling cage match, or even an MMA cage match, although those are two very, very different things. Come check it out. You will not be disappointed. All right.
But real quick,
this
John.
is my third year, my third cage match, and I still get the goosebumps every single time I walk out. It's
Yeah, there's no getting used to that.
There's
Your
not
body was
whatsoever.
not meant to take that kind of punishment.
That's right.
But real quick, John, we got to make sure we bring some stronger straps because there's going to be a bunch of big boys in that cage match this time.
Especially with that tag team match. Yeah, you know
some
what?
Strong straps. We need some strong.
I've spoken to Xavier, and he's really good about that. So he's going to take care of that. He takes care of our ring really well, and he's been Xavier. What is it? Xavier Vulture? Is it Vulture Rings?
Yeah.
Vulture Rings. If you get a chance, check them out. They are without a doubt the finest, most reliable ring and cage manufacturers in the business out here in Southern California. They've been supporting MMA, professional wrestling, and boxing for going on 20 years. So that's Vulture Cage Rentals, Fabrication, and manufacturing. Don't you? They'll have all the cage needs they will be able to meet all your cage needs. Is that it, Robert?
What is it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be what they. I think it's the Screamer. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Robert's gonna take us.
It's gonna take a little bit.
Take us a little bit. All right. So that said, Joey, why don't you let us know who's watching?
All right, let's start from the top. Let's see. Okay, well, we have, of course, John Clark. He's watching.
Big John.
Isaac Molina.
Hey, Isaac, where you been? Isaac, you come in once, twice a month, and I don't see you?
Bob Oso.
Hey, we miss you, and you say hi to your beautiful family, Bob.
Who else? Oh, wow. Marcus Frey's watching.
B.A. Marcus Frey. What?
He's probably sick.
Oh, he might be. Yeah, he sounded pretty bad the other night when he left here. Yeah.
We have Drew.
But did you-
Drew Masters watching?
Did you see his? Okay. Did you see his fro?
It
How
looks
tight
tight.
it was. Theo Huxtable was like.
It reminded me back in the mid-90s, I was like,
Yeah. That's a badass.
Mike and his two kids,
Matuziak.
Matuziak.
How you doing, Mike? Nice that you're watching. I haven't seen you in whenever.
Cynthia Navi is watching.
Hey, you know what? That's another really good fan that she's been coming around.
Paul Stitz.
Paul Stitz, again, tied for number one. Him and his triumvirate were here this weekend in the rain, begging for it to rain. Fortunately, the rain didn't come down, but those guys were ready, Rudy and Mike.
Jessica Sky is watching.
Fancy Nancy.
And who else? Let's see. Oh, yeah, and Mindy Hinojosa.
Love you, girl.
Oh, and Rachel is watching.
What?
Hey, Yoga Star. All right.
There you go.
That's your girl.
All right.
gonna get into
We're going to take you downstairs. Here we go. We have a Screamer. Oh, look who it is.
Got a new rep.
Wow, look at that.
How fast he was.
Yeah. Oh, this is
Oh, this is pre-recorded.
This is pre-recorded. This is something I put together. We were able to put together. Look at it. Looks to be Big John's first foray into a professional referee.
Digging Mohawk.
Yeah. A scream over the front row to start it all off.
I don't know if that's smart, but
You just slapped him upside the head. All right, that's what you get for rolling.
don't do that roll.
Yeah. Well, I heard this going on. I didn't get a chance to see it, so I'm excited to see it. Shoulder block from Voodoo Master as he hits that rope. Drop down. Leapfrog. And a hip toss. Boom. Oh, it looks like he's kind of got you on the ropes, on the run there. Boom. Stomp to the chest from a screamer. And another sliding stomp with a quick cover. Voodoo, this kid seems to be taking it to you pretty good. Did you come in flat? What's going on here?
What happened there? You went down kind of quick.
That was when I first came back. I was a little rusty,
Yeah. Looks like he's...
But I'm not going to ruin it.
Okay, yeah, no. Just tell us what's going on here.
I had a lot of stuff going on in my mind, and...
Oh, that was nice.
That was a nice move.
I might steal that.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So, you had a lot going on, right? You weren't feeling up to it. Oh! What do they call that? The neck breaker?
That was a neck breaker.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can do that really.
Cutter.
That's
Cutter.
nice. That's nice.
Yeah. With that sleeper hold applied, let me just say this, for a really big dude, freaking John Clark gets around that ring as a referee pretty damn good, doesn't he?
He really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he says rope break, you better.
Yeah,
rope
that's
break.
right. Yeah.
He's a big fellow.
The ropes.
Oh, that is a hell of a clothesline from uptown.
Now I've tried wearing a mask before. I can't see anything.
You get used to it. You get used to it. But it's hard to breathe a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I wear a mask every night.
Oh,
Yes, but you also have a gag ball in it too.
Hey, you need it. You need it, buddy.
Oh, why you gotta say things like that to Joey the Bull?
Yeah,
He's very sensitive about his.
Oh.
I love your pants, Joey.
Oh, thanks. Velour.
Yeah, swap meet Louie going on there.
Shut up. It's cookie.
Yeah, right.
Oh, nice slap. That was a nice slap.
You know, now it looks like you're taunting him with that. Oh, that's a nice leg drop, double leg drop, as they say. Hooks the leg. 2. A little bit slow on that count there, would you say?
Yes.
For as quickly as he gets around that ring.
Now, at this point, a lot of people don't realize that, you get exhausted from punching and
Running
taking
and
those
stopping
punches,
and
yeah.
lifting up another human being against his will. Big forearm.
Cardio plays a lot in these type of matches.
Oh! 1, 2. Couldn't have expected to get the 3 count for that. We're hooking just the one arm. There's that Kataguruma or fireman's carry. Oh! The screamer slips off.
Oh.
That is a slow count. You know what? I think we're going to have Luther have a talk with John and get him to speed up that count. What do you think?
I think I agree. I could have had him right there if you would have counted faster.
Nice reversals from the suplexes. He's focusing a lot on the back.
Yep.
Little Eddie Guerrero going on there. 2.
Come on, there you go. Get yourself pumped up.
See, at this point, the referee should have been counting because there's both
Both
shoulders.
But I don't think it was a pitting combination, right? Oh, that's a low kick to the back. A smart move there. Standing switch from Eskrima.
Oh, what the?
Oh,
You guys didn't see that, right? You guys didn't see that, right? You
I
didn't see
missed
that?
it.
I missed it. What happened there?
Okay,
I just
good.
saw him go down.
Well,
like-
don't, nobody say anything, please.
Fireman's carry from Voodoo Master. Oh, into a cutter.
Cutter. 1, 2,
Uh,
3. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. All right,
Can't
ring
get
the bell.
Wow.
Fantastic.
We
All
just
right.
tried to poke him in the eyes. What happened?
Well,
He just went
Nothing
down.
done.
yeah,
Magic.
Voodoo Magic. Nice job today. Okay, that's a heck of a match. Congratulations on your win, and many happy returns. I think maybe we might have something going on there, a cage match there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the portion of the show known as Topics. That's right, Topics, where I will provide our distinguished panel, and our guests who are still here in the studio audience, including. By the way, wait, hold on a second, Luther, come out here for a minute, Luther.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Come out here, Luther. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my good friend Luther. Those of you who've been watching either this podcast or the other podcast, I've heard him unjustly ridiculed, unfairly criticized, and just treated poorly. This is Luther. So those of you who don't know who they're talking about, right, when they do those horrible friggin' pictures.
Oh, come on.
This is
You know what's the
nothing
new
like
black.
that.
Come
He
on.
looks nothing like he looks nothing like. This is my good friend Luther. Luther, I want to thank you for your hard work this weekend. I want to tell you did a fantastic job this weekend, and I want to give you all the credit in the world for you were here when this year started. Right, you were just starting out as a referee, and as you've come along over the course of what has it been, 12 months, 13 months since you've been with us, you have gone on to become an exceptional referee. Right, I know you're still looking to make your debut in the ring as a wrestler. I hate to tell you this, I hate to lose you as a referee like we lost Tapia, because we haven't completely lost Tapia.
I think you will, because next year I'm just going to be focusing on wrestling.
Yeah, so I guess we've completely lost Tapia.
There you go.
Yeah, thanks. And so you are now the senior official. Because we lost last year. We lost. Go ahead, Robert. I know what you were looking for.
Yeah, we all can see you.
Wait, hold up.
Anyway, do you want to say anything, Luther, in your defense for all this unfair criticism you've been getting?
He was never on Orange Is the New Black. That's
Do you want to say anything?
I was never on Orange Is the New Black.
Okay.
And when I show up, I don't see B8 or I don't see Osrail.
That's a really good point. Yeah, they're not here. What are you laughing at? Well, Luther, I just want to say that I have nothing but respect for you. Everyone here has nothing but respect for you. I want to thank you for your continued efforts and wish you luck in the future. And just know that we will continue to use you as our senior referee. Go ahead, Robert.
I don't know how to do it.
I have one thing to say.
Yeah.
I'm very confident in my abilities. You know what? I'll put my mask on the line anytime you guys want me to. That's how confident I know that I'm gonna win.
Well, you know what? That's a great idea. You know what? I think, God, that'll draw some money. Yeah, you got it. Your mask is on the line.
Let's do it.
Very good. All right.
Let's do it.
10 Bears, if you're watching, give me a call.
Exactly. 10 Bears.
I remember 10 Bears.
10 Bears was,
Yeah.
as a human being and as a wrestler, he was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, once again, we're on topics. So that means Luther, Brian Chansey, Jack Bruce Davidson, and these two gentlemen are on the hook. Topics, I will provide you a topic. Everyone will have a chance to comment on said topic. Your opinion can be pro, con, positive, negative. It does not matter as long as the opinion is that of yours. Ladies and gentlemen, our first topic of the evening, you will have 1 minute to answer. And first man with a hand up gets to answer first. The topic is the television title. The television title. Now, the television title, I always thought was a weird name for a title, the TV title. Right? Does it mean it's only defended on TV? Does it mean that if you win it, you are now on TV all the time? Does it mean it if you win it, you get a TV? I don't know. Who wants the television title first? All right, here we go. Voodoo Master, you have 1 minute. TV title.
I mean, what's the whole point of that TV title? I guess. Well, what I'm confused is that what value does it have? Like, what value? You have the heavyweight championship, which is the top title. Like TV, I don't get it. I'm con. I'm against it. It is, to me, it just doesn't have a significant, a significant title. I would much rather have any other title than that, than the TV title. But that's just me. That's my opinion. There's some places that do have the TV title, and I'm not bashing them on anything, but it's just not my my cup of tea, as you can say. But that's just not my thing. 20 seconds. All right.
Promote your shirt.
What was that?
Promote your
Much better than
what?
Tapias.
What?
Probably cheaper too.
Definitely. All right. Okay. So there you go with a very unique opinion on the television title.
By the way, cheap wrestlers get cheap merchandise. So,
Really?
Let's not talk about the price of that mask. All right, Luis Tapia, your opinion on the television title. 1 minute on the clock, and we'll wait for that 1 minute. And go.
I do agree with you, Mr. Voodoo. There is, especially for me, a lot of people are on television, so I guess it's just something for everybody to go after. But personally, like I said, I grew up watching 90s, 80s wrestling. It was always the WWE, then the Intercontinental, and you had the tag team titles.
Right.
I found more value in the Cruiserweight Championship because it's a different class.
Right.
Different people that can go for that heavyweight title. You had that Cruiserweight Championship.
Right.
The TV title for me, it was, I think it's just something that sounds nice. It's something that sounds cool. It sounds something like they just wanted to throw in there just to, make money and make it more interesting. Now, when the TV title, of course, got opened the door for the internet title, which again, that's another thing that makes no sense. You're defending the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the television title. It's just again.
Especially when you don't have a show that's on when your show isn't on television. What the hell do you have a television show for?
I've been to
television title, right?
I've been to indie wrestling shows where they have a TV title and they don't.
TV. Yeah, they don't have a TV.
I remember one promotion did want to do a YouTube title, but again, it's just pointless.
Yeah.
Just no need for more titles.
Well, I mean, when you have more titles in your organization than you actually have wrestlers on your roster, you're gonna have some problems, and it's very common. All right. Anyone in the audience? Luther, Brian, Jack Bruce Davidson. All right.
Can't say much because the title.
Our next, there's not much to say.
Everybody thinks the same.
I know everyone's gonna have an opinion about this. All right. The video game 2K20. What is your to those of you who do not know, the 2K20 has been a very controversial and difficult release for, was it LJN? Who puts it out?
Is it Ukes?
Whoever puts it out, and the WWE, it has been
it's 2K.
2K. I thought it was EA Sports. It's in the game.
Yeah, you're right. Whichever, it has been a very troubled title that has been released. I want to get everyone's opinion on 2K20. Who wants to go first? Brian Jensen. Okay.
Alright, so I was going to actually try playing the game. I grew up playing video games, wrestling games. My God, paying $60 for a game where the graphics are inconsistent compared to PS1 games. Like, what on earth? And apparently, the funniest thing that come out of this is that was it 2K's Facebook page got hacked, and was it they somebody put AEW's was it AEW as a profile picture, and on the banner for the Facebook page, so they made a banner of Chris Benoit holding the WCW heavyweight title.
So bad.
And the Facebook page is linked to WWE.com is linked to AEW. Yeah, the game didn't turn out.
You played opinion on 20. For his opinion, our next panelist. Let's see who's gonna get up first. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brad Bruce Davidson. Bruce Davidson.
So I was going to pick up the 2K20 game, and I was pretty excited because the 2K19 game admittedly had a pretty cool storyline, with the indie route. That's not here nor there. And then it came out that there were all these glitches, and I watched the story mode.
Hold on a second. Now, apparently, who can you hear? Can you not hear me, or can you not hear the panelists?
I think the audio is bad.
Robert. What's going on? Yeah, that's what we sound Alright, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Just give us a minute. It should be clearing up.
Look at that. Oh man.
All right, can you hear us now? There's no. Okay, so it's that mic. All right. So we're gonna have to go ahead and leave that mic off for right now. All right.
Thank you guys for
all right.
letting us know.
Are you ready? Thank you guys for letting us know. Nothing like interactive podcasting.
Yes,
all right. JBD, come here and finish your here. Use that.
Here.
You don't play video games?
No, I do. I'll
Okay.
come in.
Because I don't. Yeah. Okay. Well.
For the record, I like your shirt. I actually like both of your shirts.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Let's go. Let's hear it.
The real question is, are you gonna buy one?
Let's go.
Anyway, so my hot take is that pretty much it just seems like a huge letdown because not only was the storyline just seemed very rushed and very generic, and just the way the game glitches out. I don't know if I want to dish $60 for a game that's gonna crap out on me every other time that I want to play a video game. When 2K19 is virtually the same thing, pending new moves, and they have DLCs for that. It just seems
DLCs.
Yeah,
Downloadable content.
Downloadable content.
All right, good, okay.
Okay, boomer. Anyway, so
hey, I'm not a boomer. You dipshits who say that. My mother is a boomer. All right, I am Gen X.
Mama De La O is a great person.
Yes, but she's still a boomer.
It just doesn't seem like something that I'm.
Sorry.
Gen X sounds a lot cooler too.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying.
You're a dinosaur, John.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem
but
like something
at least I'm not a brontosaurus
to spill money into when I could be buying, Hawaiian shirts.
There you go. All right, fair enough. Thank you for your opinion. That was Jack Bruce Davison talking about 2K20. All right. Not as bad as the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey, at least you're not a Charger fan.
That's right. I don't think anyone is, except
Oh, Luther.
All right, Luther. Let's get your opinion on 2K20.
It is okay.
Oh, shut up. I'm sorry.
All right, Joey. I'm gonna let you slide on that.
2K20. 1 minute. Go.
Quick, what's the number for 911? So my take on the WWE, I actually bought it. The storyline is great. I agree with Jack Bruce Davison, but the glitches and the lags is what strays you away from the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of WWE, but the game itself is no, it's not good. I don't like it. I've bought the WWE game over the years as it goes. I always stay up to date, but with 20, I didn't like it because of the glitches and the lags. The storyline for the My Career that they did this year was pretty good. It was decent.
What is the storyline?
Basically, it's based off of two characters. You get to play with a girl character and a guy character, and basically go on a journey of their dreams. Like, for example, one of the dreams was win the women's title or win the Money in the Bank. Also, it's just a storyline. They take you through the indies, and they take you through a dream, and then it goes all the way till they get inducted into the Hall of Fame.
My dream is to win that cage match and take that title.
That's a good dream.
My dream.
You know what? My dream is to be for us to be so popular. We have our video game out there, and it'll have a shit ton of glitches. All right.
Wait, sorry, I want to add one thing.
Thank you.
Thanks, boss. One thing I did want to add, I do like, is that they actually a fan made me in the game.
That's actually really nice.
It doesn't do any good to show us right here.
Hold on, let me show you guys.
Oh God.
That's exactly me. Like, that's crazy.
Except for the abs and the chest and the arms. Everything else, yeah.
Look at that.
Okay, let's see those abs.
Huh?
No, let's not. Sit down. I'm trying to sell tickets to a show here. Sit down.
Right there, homie.
Yeah. Luis, your opinion on 2K20.
I actually stopped playing games after SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. I grew up I grew up playing the WWF No Mercy for the N64. And what are you guys laughing? That's a great game. That's an amazing game.
No Mercy? That was actually really good.
To me, the video games, especially wrestling games, it's all about the gameplay, what happens in the ring. I think they went a little overboard when they started introducing the backstage. I kind of got the whole create your own wrestler. That's kind of cute. But to me, it's like I'd rather have games where it focuses more on the wrestling, on what you can do in the ring, what you can do in that arena.
Okay, what the fuck is everybody laughing about?
Yeah,
I asked you a question. What's everyone laughing about?
Cynthia Navia, you read her last comment.
That's hot?
Huh?
That it's hot?
No. She just said he reminds me of Buckwheat from the Little Rascals when he just said 911.
Oh.
Yeah, because Buckwheat and the Little Rascal said 911 a lot, right?
No, but just what she put down.
I get it. All right, good. All right. You were saying.
Okay, that was a good joke.
Yeah, all right.
All right. You know what? Actually, I do want to give WWE an idea, and it's $1 million idea. We can share it.
Okay, sure.
Instead of putting all videotapes and stuff. Why don't you put your video games on the network so we can play it? Because I used to
Oh
love
wow,
those
what a
old
great
games.
idea!
I used to
Yeah.
love
Oh,
those.
absolutely.
I would get the network just
You know
to
what?
play those games.
If you could
that
take
would
it,
be good, I'm not gonna lie.
if you could take it as far back as to play like remember the arcade game? What was it called WrestleFest? With the
WrestleFest.
Battle Royal and then the
Yes.
tag team. Yeah, I would sign up for that stupid network just for that.
Just remember, if it happens, it happened here first.
That's right.
Here
Hey,
first.
downloadable content, right?
Yep.
Right. All right. And for our final opinion of the night, Voodoo Master.
So, to be honest, I played all the games. I did you guys ever remember the Road to WrestleMania?
No,
Did you guys ever play that?
I think I was already.
They need that back. That was one of my favorite things. But I mean, other than that, I've heard like the glitches were pretty bad. I've seen the videos, and like how we were saying earlier, the price did drop a lot, like almost half, which is pretty crazy. So what does that tell you? That it's a pretty bad game.
It was exactly half last week at Target.
Exactly. See, Black Friday, it was like $20 out of 60. So it's ridiculous. I mean, I do play it when I'm bored. Like that's the only games that I do play. Like I don't play that much, but if you're bored, I mean, that's the only way I'll play. I'm not really into it as much as I used to be.
Me neither.
I'm
15
busy-
seconds.
I'm too busy training instead of playing.
Now
Worrying about video
doing
games.
your abs.
I was
Yeah.
about to say that we're too busy doing the real thing.
Yeah,
instead of-
exactly.
I mean, every now and then it's cool to go back and play video games, but I'd rather be out
about
there
the real
training.
stuff now.
Yeah, it's about the dream.
All right, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Royal Ramble, Orange County Championship Wrestling flagship station. So, for Joey the Bull. For the distinguished panel of Jack Bruce Davidson, our guest Brian Chansey, our inimitable referee, Andre Xavier, right? For Luis Tap Out Tapia, and for this guy, Voodoo Master, I want to wish you all a happy new year, and may all your bumps take place in the ring.
Thank you,
Oos.
sir.
Oos.
Thank you for having me.